worn and beaten wooden planks of the bed.
We can sit on benches after we've solved.
There are clothes inside. Cheap.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your stuff.
How about some premium class service over here? Like paying with net worth. Go save the economy? That sounds off. You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand, buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found, durable wear sneakers.
I can see you've a taste for luxury, officer.
Speaking of luxury, you should go over and ask about paying for those sneakers with your net worth. You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a...
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here. Everything's cool. The goods are cool. You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang. You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then. Strictly business. Maybe I can interest you in some premium menswear instead. Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants too. Try them on right here. No shame, only good joke, officer. Here we don't have permits. Just economic freedom. It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom. That's right. Revachol is the best place for an independent self-employer like myself. That's why it's so cool with anything for you.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember.
Oh, okay. But why, officer? An investment? What kind of investment? Fair point. You can't have a successful business without a loyal customer base. How much is your loyalty worth? What? Only a $5? You can't even buy a pack of Royal Extras with that. Let's make this one stick, my man. 10 Real is a bargain for that kind of investment. You got it, my man.
Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal. But there's a crashed salmon and butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything.
Good morning to you, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that is...
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of...
The words, dead.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniform. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back. Yes, this sounds off. You shouldn't trust this guy. Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemies.
I used to be very serious about my Franco-Nigerian nights.
A long, long time ago. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers.
Which ones? Ah, Royalist soldiers from the time of the Revolution. The uniforms are painted a bit too brightly, I suppose.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have...
You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yes? I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the Royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. Maybe.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well-loved and well-traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of one especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says, "Stereo, this is you." Golden orange. A sunset suite.
Is the Harman Welshie W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul, plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real. If police work means playing tapes, sure, you can use it for that. Or any other time you'd need to play a tape.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Yes, officer. As you see, it was brought to me to be altered.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop. What can I do?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake. People who are as you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained. I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery.
He doesn't know anything. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing color.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh God. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was...
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is...
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
Yeah, it's not good. I do hope we manage to clean this mess up somehow, while also keeping our focus on the murder.
This mess, he means your mess.
My apologies, officer, but...
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow.
Of course.
A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of the blonde boy depicted. Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt rubber, the cause was probably a motor vehicle. Side slip marks indicated that the vehicle was traveling up the crater at 35 kilometers an hour. The black marks on the roof indicate that the vehicle vaulted from the crater to the roof of the shack. The panel served as a takeoff ramp. The vehicle soared through the air, hitting the billboard and upsetting the posts. The sign broke the vehicle's fall into the canal. The Samaran butter billboard still looks freshly painted, suggesting it took the plunge recently, within the past 72 hours. Still speeding, the vehicle made a loop and vanished into the fog along the coast. There are two good candidates, the Caprice 40 and the Linear G20. It's about the right size, and the tire marks look like they came from the skinny tires frequently found on that motor carriage. The Caprice 40 is a very popular model, with bank clerks, topping pie delivery drivers, secondary school teachers, cops, strippers dressed as cops, undressed strippers. Very sturdy but light motor carriage, more likely than most to survive that jump. The Linear G22 is not a particularly popular model due to its peculiar proportions, which you'd have to follow the tracks to be sure. The lieutenant looks on, waiting for you to wrap up your analysis.
Any theories about what happened here? What kind of car do you think it was? That's quite likely, from what I can tell. We're not traffic cops. Should we get back to the murder? If we must.
I'm not expecting him to get far with this, the lieutenant consoles himself.
Life doesn't need to be a stress. I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, all right?
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
This felt wrong. Wrong like touching your sister's breast. You threw your sister's breast.
Mon Dieu! Good job, officer. That was an excellent throw. What are you talking about? You just executed a...
How are you ever going to get the officer's shit off your nose, Gaston? Or even climb out of his ass? Probably because those rooster pants are squeezing you senseless. Whatever happened to practical, durable, Revachol made?
Yes, officer. What do we need from this gentleman?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about in Martinez. The union is the law. So can you really blame them? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire...
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties. No man can afford to turn his eyes to the horizon if his rear isn't secured. If the women folk take care of that, then men can tackle the bigger issues.
The RCM doesn't discriminate. Women are held to the same standards, unlike men. They also have to deal with the very same mentality you two are displaying right now.
I'm glad at least some people keep a level head in these turbulent times. Yes, the terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game. I do. Fire from heavy artillery. Why what? Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home. Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Senseless. Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiant. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't, though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
This place is a damn beachhead, son. They didn't do it because they didn't like it. They had to soften the commies up. Yes, the military coordinated amphibious landing to take... Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in '08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is...
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Damn right, son. The rest of the city got clean.
Well, it's your own damn fault.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players of...
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
No, they don't. I would have preferred if they write...
This royal failure weighs heavily on...
Instead, all that is just... This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted. A true king.
Some manner of self-deceit is present in his thinking. Sounds like this Guillaume abandoned him
Damn Frisell. This was René the kid. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took... Have you no shame? Whining about you.
René,
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your axe.
You're such a wuss.
Sure, officer. I am René Arnaud. And my specially abled partner here is Gaston Martin. How can we help you? Unfortunately, I don't. In Martinez, the union is the law. Cop is a majority.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I'm an old man, not a coward. The daily business of the...
'Tis true, sire. He knows nothing. This is a man with a lot of past, but little present, and almost no future.
I have really outdone myself.
Yes, that's what you need.
René, it's a little pleasures. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day? Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week, but that's all I know, really. No, officers, I'm sorry, and I really would like to assist. You are both...
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union.
He means caviar.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip. Everyone knows and...
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's something off here.
I'm not.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even...
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know Evrard. Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I taught these boys human studies and history.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when...
There he stands, proud,
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
lest we leave riddled with bullet holes. This animosity is ancient.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals. You'll have this case wrapped up in no time.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk, written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. That's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, A church on stilts. Lanky, weather-worn wooden planks. You know this to be the Star of Periconesus, or the Cairo. The central symbol of the Periconesian Church. A star. A great moral height to be strived towards. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Probably some kids.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty? Your money disappears into the coin slot. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry. Different blues and greens. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. A half-sunken. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree, its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
The little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind. Of an apartment building.
Hey, up here, piggo.
A striking woman leans in.
Good morning, officers. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter?
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate...
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief even. The lieutenant is hatching some scheme. He's trying to signal something. He wants you to play up your condition.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group. What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy.
The Wild Pines group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain. She nods.
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demand.
No way. She's more.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now. Let's say I was not making the kind of
And when did you first?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say,
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
Mr. Clare told him to... fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and...
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. Every worker, a member of...
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
An opening gambit, surely.
So I hoped. But this type of opening is usually followed by a more reasonable offer. I have yet to hear one. Just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirl...
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was...
No, wait. The chief negotiator heard it from a man at the gates. Surely the Wild Pines group has more effective channels of information. After all, 2,200 people are on strike. This is a big deal for them.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity, if you can say.
She's being sarcastic. Don't take her performance literally.
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does. And when one's term as foreman is up, the other. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act. But they did it. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a...
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard. And your opinion, Detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines, the point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 50, and this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events. 'Twas stolen by some artist, surely. Best to pin the blame on them. Everyone knows you can't trust artists.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh dear. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Of course. But before we do, officers, the situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better for all of us. Of course, Detective.
Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Go where?
Listen to your partner, pigman. Keep your grubby hooves off little old ladies.
A brush? An artist? The red splatter is urban expressionism. She turns her head to face the coast and nods disdainfully toward Joyce. Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell. The woman on the boat.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershot. It's
On a first name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving up in the world. Pig's not half as dumb as he looks. Can't you tell? I'm Pete. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the
She means the opposite. You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
I ain't no snitch, Pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko. Watch your back, ungulate. You've got eyes.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. It's
Yes?
no response. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama is...
Clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering. He cannot fathom that anyone could drink so much has to retroactively erase their entire life.
Focus on other people's troubles, not your own.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist. The dented yellow Not a good track record of mental health in that family. Even by the standards of the well, he blew through the whole national treasury, starting the decline of one of the penultimate century's greatest superpowers. His own maladministration foreshadowed the fall of the monarchy. During the anti-centennial revolution, an end to his family line and the monarchy. On the insulin, stories have it that he had his bedroom converted into a treasure chamber, where he stored unfathomable wealth. Krugerrands, bars of gold, ornate weaponry. There were whispers he slept on a huge pile of gold-dipped feathers, like some obese dragon.
The man certainly knew how to live.
But wait, you haven't even heard about his fabled cocaine addiction. You see, old Philippe wasn't just good at squandering the national treasury on gold and ceremonial weaponry, he was also a prodigious snorter of nose candy. That's what the revolutionaries said 150 years later, right before they emptied out the royal mausoleum and dumped His Majesty's mortal remains beneath the cold waters of the Insulindian Bay. The original was blown apart by communards. Then further, most historians think the coalition's hasty landing may have ultimately saved the statue. If the communards had more time, they would have reduced it up to even finer pieces. Some years ago, a group of liberal, artistically inclined individuals, designers mostly, thought it would be ironic to restore the statue of the most wasteful ruler of Revachol in the poorest part of the city. The statue is supposed to capture the moment it was blown apart, like an instant frozen in time, a rare butterfly trapped in amber. People in Martinaise tend to disagree, as do many prominent art critics. and thought leaders with more nuanced social. Those critics might have it wrong, though. There's more to it than just ironism, but you can't say what precisely. Philip III, the Squanderer, however, with his bronze face up in the air, doesn't seem concerned about what the hoi polloi think of it. Not that he ever did in life either. The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on the photo, an ambrotype from the turn of the century. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter, some cigarettes and food money. Maybe she's your... No response. Wherever this woman is, your words...
Wait, she's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone. Why? I just told you why.
A Stars Ryko, one of the finest Zhimsk-made motor carriages ever. An oldie, but a goldie. Not many people outside of Grad, and Revachol West too, it appears.
A Stash Ryko KK2. That's a classic model. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last time. An old case for my precinct. A couple of Zhimsk migrants saw a Stash Ryko stopped in the street, painted just... They said it was an honor killing. Hussar style. The Zhimsk community protested to trial, flying the banners of some old king or whatever.
Correction. 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol.
I try to avoid drawing far-gone conclusions like this before actually examining the body. But my initial guess is the two are unrelated.
You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with the flask he reaches for from time to time.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, "Let us cop for less money." Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife? Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. I don't believe you. Post Laventurier said the same thing. They tried to get me to be their postman. So fun, so easy, they said. It's just walking. It wasn't. I'm doing much better here at the harbor. Being an honest union man with a lot of free time on his hands. You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organization.
Body betrays your degenerate.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Am Sandwich. You are not in danger, because you are not a threat to me.
Bastards! We have a right to work!
Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for a cause here.
Right!
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence. Rights of people. Rights.
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of voice bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from a set of learned.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like, why we have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scab.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocking the way to the... And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Like civilized folk, you mean? These native...
Odd, out-of-place colonial reference there.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now, if you can't get in anyway.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge. Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. You trying to meet their fat boss? I know nothing about a murder.
The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him.
What are you talking about?
Yes,
Right to work!
It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
Why not? I see numerous.
Pity.
Let us work!
you've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
What's it to you? Am I a suspect? Done no crimes.
Every once in a while, it's like you can see glimpses of another guy under the guise of this fighter for jobs. He seems a more brute.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Worked at Territory.
Pretty okay as far as lies go.
We're done here. I have a strike to break.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears. You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back.
What is what? If you want to buy one, then it's only 4 real.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles. Their logo is the bloodless rose.
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma. I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Duramine is a really good painkiller. I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercise. Uh-huh.
A colourful display of cigarettes there, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol.
Welcome to Frit. Feel free to look around or something. Everything is out on the shelves.
What's that magazine she's reading?
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got like famous people in it, it's not for sale. Yeah, me neither. Okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone. I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's there, but I haven't seen it, so... Not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really long. I don't...
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Guillaume Le Million. Bad news. Guillaume Le Million did not become a cop. In 38, he went on a tour to the Sinyao province in Safre, where he died of autoerotic asphyxiation. His body was found hanging from a decorative dragon tree in his junior suite amid drug paraphernalia, unwholesome objects, and the Sylvia Trainer single, Wonderland, skipping in the background. And yes, you can take this as a metaphor for Revachol in the 30s, and also as a warning.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island amid every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you.
What he means is, fixation on the Revacholian nation makes it harder for Revachol to actually attain self-determination.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Revachol.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong, but you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to...
Silence. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Whatever you say, officers. Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation. The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. but this here is just the last week or so. Apples.
Apples is exactly the kind of thing you'd say if you had something to hide.
Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions? Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo. Apples.
Apples is it?
Look, as detective. I come from a long line of law. Oh, I'm here to pick up a load of fucking apples, man.
Koiko may be another derogative. For a person from Grad, you think?
Yep, it's one of their main exports. They grow him down south.
In fact, Yekokata is a desolate wasteland whose name literally translates to Zone of Ecological Catastrophe. It features no scenic vistas and supports virtually no plant or animal life.
Yeah? Says who? Then, I guess they grow apples somewhere else. You can never really tell with those koikos. They're everywhere, except their own homes.
He means the people living in...
Yeah, you know, Gradniks, Gradvolk, those degenerates from Grad. 'Cause that's what they're all called. Koiko Pichik, Loslav Koiko, Koikovich someone. Hey, if the name and description fit by the very grace of nature, who am I to say otherwise? Apples. Oh yeah, they're a big deal. My great-grandfather was a carter, had a royal license and everything. We've tried to hold on to our privileges. Sure fucking is. We have a guild and everything, huh? Very ancient, very prestigious. Goddamn right. They've been trying to fuck us out of our heritage in the name of profit. Trusting street thugs with their goods is going to fuck them right up the ass. Mark my words. Generations of practice ain't no laughing matter.
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just...
Mazout is an antiquated term for heavy fuel oils. This man has a barely suppressed performative streak. Or he just likes unusual words. Or both.
Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh, however.
So tell me, what do you need? He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries. And there's...
Ask for his conclusion.
A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees. Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that.
Time to arrest him. Relax. He's merely joking.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits. They usually get shipped to Grad and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished. The bosses, man. Makes sense. It sucks is what it does. Don't be a stranger.
Old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Common. This button looks new, but someone...
This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word. You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over. Several maps have been attached to a bulletin. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness. Ozon, Laurentide, fast disintegrating into methane. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you. The ocean breaks apart, connections to other worlds. Words, you have little idea what they are. Distant stars. Perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and outer dust.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue.
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business. Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
The north coast of to the east, Hudon. It's somewhere. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock. No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriate. Your finger finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are.
Welcome to Crime Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture. Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Wonderful! Did you talk to her? Great! On a scale of 1 to 10...
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. As a young girl should be, with the proper attitude, she'll have a bright...
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she nudges her glasses.
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go, go! Get back there. The books await you. Everything is on...
She's attempting to mentally direct you towards the shelves. She only wants you to buy the goods. She doesn't care about the books.
Truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of the goods. I'm sure it's all very literary stuff with well-written... But you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories. The truth is available if you just know where to look, and you have to open and free your mind to understand.
She smiles and nods, seemingly